Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining us from. We appreciate you. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. We welcome you. Any place you are connecting this program from, we welcome you. You are highly welcome.
Bluetooth mode.
Please like and share the broadcast as you join. Like and share the broadcast. Click like and share to family and friends. Share to anyone that is close to you. Keep sharing so that we get across to everyone that we have to get across to.
Not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children, the Efiks and the BBOs, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. I had in Sosine Bige. He said,
thank you so much for joining me on this very broadcast. I appreciate every one of you that have connected to the very broadcast wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining from any part of Biafra land, I welcome you and I thank you so much for joining this very broadcast. If you are joining from Biafra land, you are joining from Asia, you are joining from Europe, you are joining from America, from Australia, from Canada, you are joining from Russia, from China, any part of the world where you are connecting us from, we welcome you and we say, may Chukwu Okike Abiam continue to guide you, protect you, secure you, and give you a reason to continue to pursue this very freedom that is dear to our heart. We have come once again, as we always do, to encourage Biafrans and to set records straight. What we always do here is what we have come once again to do. As you all know, we don't come here to preach lie, we don't come here to gossip, we don't come here to preach propaganda, neither do we come here to instigate violence or to preach hate. What we do here is to encourage Biafrans and remind Biafrans of their legitimate rights that they must hold dear to their heart. The right to self-determination, the right to self-defense, and the right to life. These are rights that are supported by international law, African law, and Nigerian law itself. These are the rights we are here to remind Biafrans that they must hold dear to their heart. I appreciate every one of you that come at every time to support us on this very platform. Please, as you join, click like and share so that others can get across and join us on this broadcast. I welcome my beloved sister, Linda TV Show, who is always here supporting and giving me the strength to walk ahead. I welcome Jack Acho. Thank you for joining, Jack. I appreciate you. Amechi Jonas, I welcome you, Amechi Jonas. Thank you so much for joining, Amechi. I appreciate you. I welcome you, my beloved sister, Diana Agumbiade. Thank you so much, Diana, for joining. And many other people who are watching but are not commenting. Wherever you are watching us from, wherever you are joining us from, we appreciate you and we respect your presence. You are highly welcome. You are part of the radical evangelism, and by sharing and reaching out to others, by clicking like, you are actually sending a message to others to join us. And I bet you we shall overcome every challenge that is coming our way. Chukwu Okike Abiam have made it possible that we should come. And as long as we have come, we shall overcome. They will never, ever stop us. Today, I can tell you categorically clear that all road today is leading to freedom. Every road that you see today in this Biafra restoration is leading to freedom. Every road that you can see today in Biafra restoration is leading to freedom. There's no doubt about it. We have passed the stage where we come online to gossip or respond to irresponsible people. We have passed the stage where we come to cry and complain. Everything we are doing today or saying today is leading to the restoration of Biafra. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. The restoration of Biafra has fully started. Fully started. Our Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Israel, have announced it. That we have started regaining back our land. We have started taking back our territories. And no matter what the enemy does, no matter what they say, they will never stop us. We are going to take back our territory, inch by inch, block by block, local government by local government, state by state, and we will make sure we get every of our lands intact. We will not leave any of our land to these criminals. We will never leave any inch of our land to any criminal. No. We are going to recover all. And it has been activated by our Prime Minister, Master Samaneba. That is why I am telling you that every road you see today in this restoration mode leads to freedom. Every road we are walking into today leads to freedom. The defense of Biafra land have been fully activated. And those who have come to take our life will surely go back in body bags. Before I come online, I just hear a distress call that came in that the Janjaweed are coming. They are on their way today heading to Imo State. The information was sent that the Janjaweed terrorists, they have grouped their armored tank with all their forces, Ibubago police and army, inclusive of civil defense. They are all going towards Osun. And I bet you, as they are coming down to Biafra land, they will all perish. It doesn't matter what they are coming with. They can come with all the armored tank in the world. They can come with their jet bombers. They can come with their Tucana jets. They are going to go back in body bags. Because we are fighting a just cause. We did not go for them, they came for us. And for the fact that they came for us, we fight our battle. We definitely fight our battle. We will never give up. No matter the attack they bring to us, no matter the blackmail they send to us, no matter the propaganda, no matter the forces they are sending, they will never succeed. Because we are fighting a just cause. And the road we are going today is the road of freedom. All road in Biafra restoration today leads to freedom. The Biafra Republic government in exile has activated everything that we need to get it to freedom. They have all been activated fully. Every step will be followed. Every procedure will be followed. And all roads today leads to freedom. And whatever you do against Biafra today, it doesn't matter your propaganda, your blackmail. It does not matter how connected you think you are. It doesn't matter where you cook up your lies. They are going to work for our own good. The earlier you begin to accept the fact that Biafra have come to stay, the better for you. This message is going to every saboteur, every politician in the Zuluka Republic, all those criminals who are gathering in secret places, holding their meetings against Biafra restoration. I pity you. You don't know what you're up against. You cannot fight Chukwuka Gabiam and win. There's no way darkness will cover the light. No matter how you try, you cannot. Darkness can never, no matter how dark a place is, just one candle alone can lit up a house. You better stop trying. Because Biafra have come to stay. And our freedom has been guaranteed, signed and sealed by Chukwuka Gabiam himself. There is nothing any man can do about it. Everything you are doing today, thinking that you are working against Biafra, thinking that you are distracting us, you are not distracting us, but you are only cutting your own life short. That is exactly what you are doing. The Biafran people know what they want. They know where they are coming from, and they know where they are headed. And there's no amount of propaganda or blackmail today that can stop us from pursuing that, which is the mandate of Chukwuka Gabiam. The mandate that we are pursuing today to have our freedom is not just our mandate. It is a mandate handed over to us by Chukwuka Gabiam himself. He said we should go and possess our possession. And in going to possess our possession, we don't care who is on the road. Because we don't judge by sight, we judge by the spirit. As long as we have that direct instruction from Chukwuka Gabiam to go and possess our possession, we will move. We will possess our position and we will come back safe and sound. Whatever sacrifice that it will take for Biafra to be free, the Biafran people are ready. This generation of Biafra will complete the assignment that our forefathers started. And you have heard our Prime Minister, Mazi Sawaka, announce it, that he has come to finish what our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu started. And he's not just saying it to brag. Go and check every single step he's taking today, and everything he's doing today is pointing to the fact that the restoration of Biafra has come. Biafra is going to be restored, no matter what anybody thinks, no matter what anybody does, no matter whether you support it or you don't support it. That you support Biafra restoration today is for your own benefit. If you are a Biafran and you are supporting Biafra restoration, it is for your own benefit. It's for your own gain. And if you are a Biafran and you are working against the restoration of Biafra, I can assure you that it would have been better if you are not born. If you are a Biafran, a full-fledged Biafran, and you are working against the restoration of the kingdom of God on the planet Earth, it would be better that you are not born. Because Biafra is going to come, and when it does come, you are not going to be part of it. It doesn't matter how you try. You will never, ever, ever smell it. You won't be part of it. You won't be part of that program. As you have rejected peace, you have rejected freedom. Freedom will elude you. But as many as are standing their ground, as many as are raising the banner of Biafra, as many as have said that the will of Chukwu Okekabiam will happen, no matter what the enemy does, no matter the wave, no matter the earthquake, no matter the hurricane, we are going to pass it and we will come out victorious. We are going to overcome all and we will emerge victorious. Chukwu Okekabiam, who created us, who made heaven and earth, by his special grace, we will never lack. By his special grace, his will must happen in our life. By his special grace, no weapon formed or fashioned against us can prosper. We have come a very long way. Chukwu Okekabiam has made us to come. We have fought a long battle. Our forefathers fought for 3 good years with nothing, with no support from anywhere. And they were able to stand for 3 years. The enemy's plan was to wipe us away completely. For the fact they did not succeed then, they will never ever succeed now. For the fact they could not be able to succeed to wipe us away in 1967 to 1970, for the fact they could not be able to wipe us away, they will never ever succeed, not in a lifetime. The only thing that could happen today is the establishment of the kingdom of God on planet Earth, Biafra's referendum, Biafra's freedom, Biafra total independence. That is where we are heading to. And it's going to be a reality in our own lifetime. We are not going to transfer this responsibility to anybody. No. The Biafrans of today, the youths of Biafra today, we will not transfer the responsibility of restoration of Biafra to anybody. We are going to take responsibility to restore Biafra in our own time and hand it over to our children unborn. We hand it over to the next generation. We did not bring ourselves into this world. We did not make ourselves Biafrans. We didn't choose where we're going to come. Every single one of us that is a legitimate Biafran today, you did not choose to be a Biafran. Chukwu Okekabiam saw you and knew that you are better off a Biafran than any other thing. And that was why he made you a Biafran. You should be happy you are. You should be happy that you are a Biafran. That is why I tell people that the greatest disservice you can do to yourself is to denounce your Biafranness. The greatest disservice any Biafra can do to himself is to denounce his Biafranness. Immediately you denounce your Biafranness, you have now reduced your defense to zero. When you denounce your Biafranness, I can assure you, you have reduced your defense to zero, and the angel of death might visit you at any time. You will fall prey to the angel of death. I have been saying it time and time again that the greatest defense you can form for yourself is to realize whom you are. The first step and the greatest defense you can give to yourself is to realize whom you are, that you are a Biafran. As long as you are from the old southeastern region, the present south and the southeast with the lower Benue, as long as where you are, your grandmother is tying 2 pieces of wrapper, you are a Biafran. And the greatest defense you can keep for yourself is for you to take up your identity as a Biafran. Claim it, live it, be it, and I bet you the angel of death will pass you over. But anytime you deny your Biafranness because of what you will eat, you denounce your Biafranness because of your friends, you denounce your Biafranness because of your job, you denounce your Biafranness because you want to be praised, you want to be seen as a good person, you are literally digging your grave. Take it to the bank. It's just a question of time. That is why I always advise that if you are from the old southeastern region, the best thing you can do for yourself is to realize whom you are. Embrace it, accept it, live it. Then and only then, you will see the glory of Chukwu Gabiama and his divine protection over you. You can see what our Supreme Namaste Nandekana has passed through in the hand of the zoo. You can see what Mazen Nandekana have passed through. It takes only the divine grace of Chukwu Gabiama for someone to survive what Mazen Nandekana has survived and continues to survive. It takes the divine grace of Chukwu Gabiama. What they did to him in Kenya. Have you ever sat back and imagined Mazen Nandekano in the hand of the enemies after so many years? Mazen Nandekano in the hand of his enemies in Kenya, only him alone with them in a room. Have you ever imagined what the situation would be like when they confronted Mazen Nandekano and refundled him? Have you ever sat down and think for a while? Have you ever sat down and think what Mazen Nandekano must have passed through in Kenya, where nobody was there to speak on his behalf? He was just alone in the midst of the enemies. Have you ever thought about that and imagine what he has gone through? And in all that, he survived by the grace of Chukwu Gabiama. Even after they have illegally, extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria against international law, they continue to keep him under solitary confinement. Up to today, after he has passed through those torture and dehumanization in Kenya, he has not been given a proper treatment till date. More than 2 years counted. And yet he is standing firm. And yet he's speaking boldly. And yet his spirit is not broken. It takes the grace of Chukwu Gabiama. So many people that fall out did not see what he saw. So many people that fall out didn't see what he saw. But today, you can imagine what our Supreme Namaste Nandekano is going through in the territory of the enemy. In the midst of all those, he is standing strong. And he's telling us to remain strong. It takes the grace of Chukwu Gabiama for one to survive what he's surviving. And one of the secrets of his survival is knowing whom he is. Mazen Nandekano knows he knows that he's a king. He knows who he is. Mazen Nandekano knows the assignment he was called to do. Mazen Nandekano knows his mission. That is why he's not broken. That is why he's not distracted. That is why he's not listening to anybody. That is why he's not confused. And that is why they can't take him out. The life of Mazen Nandekano is in the hand of Chukwu Okabema. No man born of a woman can take his life. If I wake up tomorrow and hear any news about Mazen Nandekano, I will take it that it is Chukwu Okabema that wanted it that way. The enemy has no power over our Supreme Mazen Nandekano. They have no power over him. Whatever happened today, I take it as the grace that is coming from Chukwu Okabema upon Mazen Nandekano. I can see you, my beloved brother, Van Maxwell. Thank you so much for joining. I can see you on the comment section. Thank you so much, my beloved brother. May Chukwu Okabema continue to guide and protect you. So, my fellow Biafrans, the best thing you can do for yourself today is realizing who you are. And you do know why it is so important for you to know whom you are. It is only when you know whom you are that you can be able to see your enemies clearly and stay away from them. When you realize whom you are, it will be easy for you to flee from your enemies. But when you continue to pretend, you continue to deny yourself, continue to pretend, you are only digging your own grave. Go and check from history. Everybody from the old Southeastern region that have rejected Biafra and pretend to be a one Nigeria, they end up in debt. Go and check. Everyone, every Biafra that at one point in time denounced Biafra, either jokingly, mistakenly, or you denounce Biafra, they have always ended in destruction and death. Go and check in history. People that tried it, how did they end up? The only people that survived are people who realize whom they are. And by realizing whom they are, they were able to see clearly whom the enemy is. And they flee from the enemy on time. And their life is saved. The more you continue to pretend to be part of one Nigeria, the more you are exposing yourself to danger. The very best thing anyone can do for himself today, if you are from the old Southeastern region, is to support the Biafra Republic government in exile. That is the best thing you can do for yourself. And when you rise up and speak against Biafra Republic government in exile, or Manepa, you are doing yourself a great disservice. It's like somebody breaking down his own fence. The defense and defense we have around ourselves today is the Biafra Republic of Exile under the control of Mazi Samanepa and the on-spirit command of Mazi Nandekano. That is the defense that we have today. Any day you wake up as a genuine Biafran and you speak against the Biafra Republic of Exile, you speak against Mazi Samanepa, you are breaking down your own defense by your own self. And whatever happened to you, you are going to be responsible for it. You don't blame anybody for what happens to you. You don't. You blame yourself. The earlier you wake up and realize whom you are, the better. That is only way out. Every Biafran at this point in time should be able to work out and support the Biafra Republic in any way you can support. It should be one of your primary aim on air today, to support and make sure Biafra becomes a reality. The defense of Biafra land is going on, even as you're watching me. As you are watching me on this program, Biafra Liberation Army are engaging the military. Biafra Liberation Army, they are busy engaging and defending your land. Volunteers put their own life on the line. These volunteers are not paid. You are not paying them. That is one thing you should put at the back of your mind. These people who are putting their own life on the line to defend you, to defend me, to defend our lives and properties, they are not paid. The only thing they need from you and I is the tools to do the job. These are a group of volunteers. And they put their own life on the line to give you a life. Have you ever sat down and think about that? And I ask you, how much do you think someone can pay you in exchange for your own life? You that is watching me. How much do you think is enough for somebody to exchange for your life? Answer me that question genuinely from your heart. How much do you think is enough for one to pay for your own life in exchange? Of course, our life is worthless. Our life worth more than it's worth more than something that can be mentioned. That's what I mean. I don't mean worthless. Our life worth more than money, worth more than human being can offer. No amount is enough to be paid for a human life. No amount is enough to pay for a human life, for your life, for my life. That is the correct and sincere answer. There is none of us that will be given money today. They will say, let me give you this amount of money to take your life, and you accept. No human being can trade his own life for money. No normal person, except you are insane. No normal human being will trade his own life for money or for anything at all. But you see people who have given their own life for you, for me. People voluntarily on their own dedicated their own life to defend you, to defend me, to protect you, to protect me. And all they are asking for is the tools to do the job. And when call is being made to support ESN, to support Liberation Army, you think it is too much. You think that we are asking too much. You think that Mazi Simon Ekpa is asking too much. You think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking too much. You think that the Biafra Republic of Israel is disturbing too much. We know that fingers are not equal. We know that times are hard. And at the same time, we know there are people that Chukwu Okekebe have placed finance in their hand in order to rescue Biafra from the Zoological Republic. That we also know. The Biafran people are rich. We have billionaires. We have millionaires. We have people who are made and rich. But where are they? Where are they? Some of them pretend that all is well. Some of them don't mention anything that has to do with Biafra. Some of them, even when they know the truth, they continue to pursue falsehood and lies. I saw one of the programs that was attended by Onyema, the one that has APs. In that very conference, Onyema was speaking about the condition of Nigeria. And Onyema, with own mouth, confessed that Nigeria will never, ever survive the way it is going. It's not possible. Onyema was explaining and stating the impossibility of Nigeria striving as a nation, that it's not possible. Onyema was mentioning the destructive diversity in Nigeria. He saw it and he mentioned, he was talking about it, including the one he is facing because he is a Biafran. He knows. But yet, Onyema cannot look back and claim who he is as a Biafran. Onyema continued to identify himself as a one Nigerianist. As Onyema continued to identify himself as one, they continue to punish him and suffer him. They continue to show him that you are not part of Nigeria. He was there lamenting what he's facing, the challenges he's facing to operate his airline, the system that were put in place to make sure that they never survive. Onyema was narrating and mentioning them one after the other in that conference. And yet, Onyema continued to deny Biafra. Instead, he's embracing Nigeria. And when I was watching him speak, I laughed. You see the kind of people who are a bunch of cowards. People that continue to dig their own grave by their own. People like him have already broken their own barrier. They have no defense. They have no defense. When you watch Onyema speak there, you see him pointing out the facts. But when it comes to solution, none of them has a solution. After singing the music of telling us how bad Nigeria is, you will see come back and begin to talk about one Nigeria. Bunch of cowards, people that has nothing to offer. He was there lamenting how his airline is suffering in the hands of the government because of their policies. Making an example, yet he is not bold enough to stand and support his own people. You can't support your own. But the Zoological Republic, before your own very eyes, you saw them promoting one man, building a sole proprietor to make one monopolize everything in the hand of one man. And they are not apologetic about that. Recently, you saw the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, lamenting about the cement industry in Nigeria. Lamenting and explaining how it is much more cheaper to import cement than to buy a local made cement in Nigeria. Every one of us have known long before now that the cement that is being produced by Dangote in Nigeria, he sells is cheaper outside Nigeria than he sells in Nigeria. Why is it so? How many people in the north build house? How many people in the north take it as a responsibility to build a house, a modern house? How many of them? How many people in the north take it as a responsibility to build a modern house? The people that invest in building and construction of whatever they want is in the southern part of Nigeria, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. They took the cement industry and handed it over to one man and monopolized it. Most of the things that you use in that country that requires daily, that requires constant need, the things that the people need constantly are handed over to one man to supply, monopolized under the hand of one man. And that idiot was telling us that the construction they want to do as a minister of work, that when they start, that is going to affect, they will not have enough cement. Thereby, it's going to raise the price of cement. You monopolize it and give it into the hand of one man, and now you are complaining that you wouldn't have enough. At the same time, you agreed that the product which you use to make this cement is found in that same Nigeria. They have the raw materials. You don't import it. The raw materials is there in Nigeria. You produce it, then you export it and sell cheaper. But where you took the raw materials, you are selling to them in a higher price. Does that make sense? And you confess that this is one of the things that the Nigerians are supposed to be enjoying, to be happy. And now you went back to say that the happiness of Nigerians depends on one man called Dangote, that you are going to beg him. You are not even bold enough to mention his name. You are saying the cement industries. How many cement producers or industry do we have? How many cement manufacturing companies do we have in Nigeria? It is owned by Dangote, a sole owner. You know how they destroy the Ibeto cement. The product for which they will use to make this cement is found in Biafra land, in Kalago. We have everything we need, every resource we need to make things easy and cheap. But these criminals have bought over the resources of 70 million people. If you want to include all of them, you say 200 million plus people. One person bought their resources, hold it to himself, and begin to share how he desires. And nobody sees anything wrong in that. They don't see anything wrong in it. This same man was handed over sugar, rice, every single commodity that people requires on daily basis that makes life easy. Those things that people buy, they put it on the hand of one man to import. without a tax. And the next minute you see him raising shoulder as the richest man in Africa. And I love one of my brother who said that if you give the dumbest man in Biafra land that opportunity, he will become the richest man in the world, not just in Africa. The richest man in the world. But nobody sees anything wrong in that. You see why we must get out of the zoo. You see, there is danger that is coming that people are not seeing. You are talking about cement and you're talking about other commodities. You forgot that today, this same criminal who has hijacked the cement has today ventured into oil. Dangote have dived into crude oil. And let me tell you, the reason why you see the rising price of fuel today is Dangote. Is Dangote refinery. They are trying to raise it to the highest level as much as possible before ever they will start production. These are selfish and self-centered people. They don't care about you. The reason why you see the fuel price rising, a time will come when you are going to buy 1,500 per liter as long as Dangote starts production. When Dangote refinery starts operation, then now you will know how expensive petrol will be. You don't get it, right? I want you to just look at what is happening in the cement. Take what is happening in the cement and put it in this petroleum. Then you begin to understand what I'm saying. That a greater danger is coming ahead. Greater danger is coming ahead. And people don't see it. You see some ignorant people, some eye service idiots singing praises for him for building a refinery. Your country cannot build a refinery. You can't even rehabilitate the old ones you have. You can't even do that. And you say you're not able to manage the refinery, but you committed more than half of the money. About 70% of the money that is being used to construct this Dangote refinery is owned by Nigerian government. And they put the name of one man. Today, every African country is fighting hard to liberate themselves from the hand of the colonial masters. But the Zoological Republic called Nigeria is deepening themselves more. Every other tribe is just docile. They pretend they don't see it. But I thank you for the Biafran people. The Biafran people cannot stay down. Just as Ahmadu Bello said, we are seeing the danger very, very clear. And we are working tirelessly to get away from that danger. And in 2023, by the special grace of Chukwu Okabian, we will get away from that danger. You see that refinery Dangote is building? He better go and make sure he explore oil in the north. He better make sure there is oil in the southwest that he will use to power that very thing. Because if he's still hoping on the oil in Biafra land, if he's hoping on the oil in Biafra land, that very refinery will rust in his hand. It will rust with him. Because Biafra, we are going to have our own refinery. We are going to refine our oil. If there's nothing we can enjoy, that is our resources on the ground. If there is anything that's supposed to be cheap in Nigeria, it is that oil. It's supposed to be the cheapest thing you buy. Go to Niger Republic, they even buy it cheaper. But in the country that owns it, they don't even have enough, let alone buying. You can't even see it. That is how bad it is. People are not seeing the danger coming. I don't know why people are not seeing it. Or they see it and they pretend. Instead, they celebrate that danger. That Dangote building a refinery means that the price of oil will go higher and higher to a level that you can't even be able to complain. The same thing he did to fertilizer. The same thing he did to cement. The same thing he did to rice and every other commodity that is in his hand. He is going to do to oil. And you know what that means. If you like, continue to pretend. I thank you, Camera, by them. When we are gone and we are in Biafra, when we are gone from Biafra, now we'll be hearing your news with him. And I pray that those of you who doesn't want Biafra to come, we go and nationalize in Nigeria and be part of them over there. As for us, whatever they are building and constructing, we are not part of it. We are not part of it. And they know very much. They know very well. These are the people who are fighting against us to see that Biafra doesn't come. But Biafra will come, whether you like it or not. I only pity those of them who are still pretending. Somebody like that, Onyema. I saw him speaking and they were clapping for him. I was looking at him. After narrating the weak points and problems and troubles and said in his own mouth that Nigeria can never progress. Yet, after talking all that trash, he round up and talking about one Nigeria. Since 1960, up to this moment, Nigeria has never had a country. From independent till date, they are still talking about unification. They are still talking about unity. For the past, since 1960, 60 years plus, going to 70 years, they have not yet been a unified country. It's been all along a divided country, and we continue to be. Instead, the division is even deepening the more. The diversity in Nigeria is a destructive one. This is why Nigeria must not be disintegrated. Anybody that cares about the citizens of Nigeria, anybody that cares about the citizens of Nigeria should support Biafra for this integration of Nigeria. The country is too big to be one. The country is too divided to be one. The country is too diverse to be one. There is no way you can manage the diversity. It cannot be managed. It's only because of greed of the British and the wickedness of those of them who call themselves Nigeria that Nigeria is still standing today. The diversity you have in Nigeria is worse than the diversity you had between the Pakistanis and the Indians. The diversity in Nigeria today is worse than the diversity you see among Pakistanis and the Indians. And yet, they peacefully draw the line and allow people of different faiths go your side, these people of this faith go your side. That doesn't mean they don't relate. They still relate with each other. They still intermarry. They associate with each other. It doesn't hinder the individuals from doing anything. But to draw that mark, let there be a boundary so that people can be able to respect each other. And now do see the way. Look at the progress at the Hamas so far. Pakistani is growing in a very high speed, competing with India. India is growing, looking on Pakistan to make sure that they meet up with a healthy competition. Those are the kind of competition you need in Nigeria. Not forcing people of diverse interests together. You come and you talk about security. There is no way you can have security in Nigeria as long as Nigeria remains the same. You can never, because somebody from the core north can never see a southerner as a human being. They can never see a southerner as people that's one people. No core northerner will ever see anyone from the southerner as his or brother or her sister. No. An Hausa man will never see an Igbo man as a fellow countryman. No, they will never. A Fulani man will never see an Igbo person as a fellow countryman. And an Igbo man, we can never see them as fellow countrymen because we are not. Right from the origin, Ahmadu Bello said it, that we are not the same people and we can't live together. But Dr. Nandezi felt he was talking to a human being and he was forcing himself to imagine. Even Awolowo saw it that it's not workable. He told Dr. Nandezi, well, let's go. But Dr. Nandezi will continue to shake his head. Just as Mbono Jike warned him. Mbono Jike warned Azikiwe. Finally, look at we today. Here are we today. What was he able to bring for Biafran people? Death. What was he able to bring to his own people? Dehumanization. What was he able to bring to his own people? Disrespect and dishonor. Can you imagine how far we would have gone? Even from 1967 alone, if we have succeeded from 1960 going forward, can you imagine how far we would have gone? But even after the Civil War, instead of keying in, uniting the people and move forward to grow, what did they do? They decided to drag us down, to put us on their own level. Instead of them learning from people who have learned a lot from experience, instead of them to go into a healthy competition or utilize the forces and the power and the strength and wisdom, knowledge of the Biafrans during the Civil War, instead of them to tap into that wisdom that they had. That is what, if it were a white country, that's what they would do. They would look at the people and see how they were able to survive in 3 years when they were fighting against the whole world. They were supposed to learn the survival of the Biafrans, the consistency of the Biafran people, learn from Biafran people. But what did they do? Instead, they destroyed every history that has to do with the Biafrans, including the scientific research that we did during the Civil War. They destroyed all the evidence. Things that were supposed to make the country rich, they destroyed. And there you are. You are telling me of a better Nigeria. Where is it going to come from? Keep dreaming. Keep deceiving yourself. You better wake up from your sleep. Wake up. There's no better Nigeria anywhere. Wake up and pursue the kingdom of God on the planet Earth. It is coming. It is coming. Key in into it. That is the greatest thing you can do to yourself. Key into it. Support it and follow it with your whole heart. And then watch and see what you go will do. It is not by might. It is not by power. But by the grace of Chukwuka. We didn't choose ourselves. He has chosen these people as his own. The same way he chose Israelites. Israelites didn't choose themselves. It is not because they are too perfect. The Jews is not because they are too perfect. It is not because they are too industrial. It is not. Chukwuka chose them. Not because they are righteous. They have a lot of worries, a lot of failures on their own way. They have a lot of flaws. The same way today, we Biafrans, we have so many flaws. But in the midst of our flaws, Chukwuka have chosen us and has continued to show his mercy upon us, direct us, forgive us, lead us. And all we have to do today is to tap into that opportunity. But if you are abusing that opportunity, I'm sorry. You have yourself to blame. You have yourself to blame. Today, the greatest thing you can do for yourself today is to rise up. Any place you are as a Biafran, rise up and support the Biafra Republic of Israel. Support Master Simon Ekpa, a dedicated servant of Chukwuka who have sworn to make Biafra a reality. Master Simon Ekpa is putting every single thing on the line. He's putting everything on the line. The greatest thing you can do for yourself today is to support him. That you are supporting Biafra today, you are supporting yourself. If you deny Biafra, you deny yourself. It is so sad when I saw a video where people who call themselves elders were praying for somebody who is taking the life of their own children. I saw elders in Imo State laying curse upon themselves. This is how corrupt and evil they have turned Biafra land. Today, to be a king is no longer, kings are no longer born in Biafra land. Kings are picked up by the caliphate and Janjaweed. They pick them people and make them king. They pick people and make them come. And those of them who are there, they are so scared to face the government and tell them to their face the truth. It is just about money. Or they are busy receiving salary from Sokoto. They are busy being controlled by the enemy. That is why you see traditional rulers praying against their own self. Are you telling me that these people are not seeing what Hobos Odemma is doing in Imo State? Are you telling me that these traditional rulers do not know that Imo State people did not vote for Hobos Odemma? Are you telling me that these people do not know that Imo State people, if you conduct a referendum, you will realize that Imo State do not want Hobos Odemma? Are you telling me that they don't know about that? They know very well that the Imo people do not want Hobos Odemma, and yet they gather themselves and they are laying curse upon themselves because of money, because of peanuts. Look at them, people who call themselves elders. You know, before they used to say that what elders see sitting down, that a child will stand up or not sit. But today, what the young ones see is sleeping. Elders cannot see it if they stay awake for a million years. What the young youths of these days are seeing, the elders will never set their eyes on it for the next million years. That is the truth. Forget about that nonsense adage in those days. Today, it is the youths in Biafra land that are seeing clear. It is the youth in Biafra land today that are seeing clear. Those who pretend to be elders, those who claim to be representative of themselves, they have nothing to offer than death and destruction, lies and failure. That is what they offer. Check every one of them. Look at the politicians. Something as simple as releasing Mazen Nandekan, they couldn't be able to achieve. We are not talking about fighting for a criminal. We are not talking about releasing a criminal. We are talking about releasing somebody who the court of the land have said, set him free and let him go. Your own son that has no offense. You confess it. People confess it every day online that this man has not committed any crime. And yet, you could not be able to free him. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. What you are busy doing is fighting against your own, inviting the military to fight against your own people who are genuinely demanding for something that is right. The demand of Biafrans are simple. It is not something that is not known. Everybody knows our demand. We are not terrorists. Our demand is simple. Free Mazen Nandekano, give us our referendum. And that is it. Free Mazen Nandekano, give us our referendum. They wouldn't have it. Instead, they will go and bring military to take their life of their own. These are people who claim to be your representative. How do they represent you? They represent you by bringing death. The same people who gathered and proscribed their own children, even when they know that they have not committed any crime. Today they gather themselves. They were fighting against it at home. Stop it at home. Stop it at home. And when you hear them talk about something, you think it's about you. It is not about you. It is about them. Every battle they engage in is about them. When you see them talking about stopping it at home, you think they are talking about it because of your own. It is not because of you. It is because of their own agenda. They want to feel like the Lord. They know that the power has gone out of their hand. They know that the world is watching. They know that the whole world is watching. They saw that the Biafran people are sitting at home under the order of the Biafra Republic of the Desert. They know today that the Biafra Republic of the Desert is in charge. They know. Their Senate have confessed it that Master Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of the Desert, is in charge. Whatever he says goes. And when he gives it at home, everybody sits at home, including them, the workers. They know. Today they can't handle it. That is why they come out from all corners, all angles, and begin to push lies and propaganda. Stop sit at home. Stop it. It is about them, not about you. Anytime they open their mouth and say stop sit at home, it is about them. If not, our Prime Minister have said it time and time again. Release Mazen Nandekano and the Monday sit at home will cease automatically. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. A simple request that you can be able to meet if you choose to. But because these people have a different agenda altogether, because their mission, the initial mission of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was to stop Biafra, and they know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot compromise the struggle. They have tried to blackmail him by writing their own letter. They have tried to blackmail him by setting him against Mazen Samanekwa. None of those worked. And finally, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu spoke out and said, nobody should beg them anymore to release him. That begging them to release him is a slap on his face, a slap to Biafran, which is absolutely truth, what we have been saying for a very long time. How can you be asking for pardon for a man that didn't commit offense? How can you be asking for clemency for a man who didn't commit any offense? How can you be saying to forgive for a man who hasn't offended you? Instead, you are the one that offended him. You committed crimes against humanity on him. You abuse his rights. And yet, you want him to turn back and be the one to beg you. You are insane. Biafra is coming. You can't stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is accept the fact that Biafra is here. That is the only thing you can do. The only thing you can do is to accept the fact that Biafra has come. And if you choose not to, you are going to accept it in a very difficult way. If you don't want to accept it alive, you accept it dead. So when you meet Chukwu Kabiama, you will be informed. Now, your people are now in Biafra. You can't stop it. You cannot. Keep trying. I'm not telling you to stop. Keep trying. But I bet you, you are going to sleep as a Nigerian and you wake up in Biafra very, very soon. The restoration of Biafra land has started. Taking back our land has started. And there's no going back. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of you that have joined us on the very broadcast. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect every Biafran across the world, wherever you are, in the east, west, north, and south. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our ESN, guide and protect our Liberation Army, guide and protect the BNL, and every force that is fighting for Biafra. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the Biafran media warriors and their family. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the Umuada and their family. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect all the members of the cabinet of Biafra and their families. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever he is. We commit him in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine grace, for divine protection, for divine wisdom. He will never dash his foot against a stone. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect him, his going out and coming in. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect our supreme leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Wherever he may be at this meeting, we commit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the hand of Chukwu Okike for divine healing, for divine strength, for divine revelations. May Chukwu Okike be with him. I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this broadcast, and I pray and say that every one of you that have shared this video, every one of you that have liked this program, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect you, keep you, and you will see Biafra in your lifetime. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against the Biafran people shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, shall prosper. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being with me. Join me again in the evening on Chooks for Survival page. I will be broadcasting there on Facebook in the evening. Please join me there so that we can continue there and continue to spread this gospel. Thank you so much for supporting. See you again. Bye.